and welcome to St. Lucia Magazine, your weekly roundup of the nation's top stories in education, the economy, infrastructure, agriculture, and more. I'm your host, Nival Auguste. In this edition, the new academic term kicks off with a renewed focus on modern, inclusive, and digitally driven learning. And the new Minister for Agriculture gets acquainted with the units under her portfolio. The new academic term began with a renewed focus as Education Minister Kenson Casimir reaffirmed the government's commitment to a modern, inclusive, and digitally driven education system. Minister for Education, Youth Development, Sports, and Digital Transformation, Honorable Kenson Casimir, welcomed students and educators back to school. The minister reaffirmed his commitment to building a modern and inclusive education system focused on preparing students for the future.
Today marks not only the start of a new academic term, but also the continuation of our collective journey to build a 21st century education system that prepares every learner for success.
Minister Casimir also highlighted digital transformation and technology-based learning as key priorities for the ministry moving forward.
In keeping with this mission of the ministry, we remain committed to creating equitable, high-quality learning experiences that empower all students with the knowledge, skills, and values required to thrive in a rapidly changing world. I want you to know that this year is filled with opportunity. Opportunity to learn with curiosity, to ask bold questions, to engage collectively, and to push boundaries. Whether our students' dream is to excel in science and technology, lead in sports, contribute to community, or one day innovate in the digital space, the development of our nation's children matters deeply to us. Education is not just about passing exams. It's about building confidence and character.
The minister thanked teachers, staff, and parents for the vital role they play in supporting students, emphasizing collaboration. He also committed to supporting and empowering all stakeholders for student success. From the Government Information Service, I am Nival Auguste. The new Minister for Education, Honorable Kenson Casimir, visited schools in District 1 to assess infrastructure and learning conditions. Amanda Faye Clark reports.
The start of the second school term brought more than just the return of students and teachers. It marked the beginning of a ministerial tour of schools aimed at assessing readiness, infrastructure, and learning conditions across St. Lucia. Education Minister Honorable Kenson Casimir launched the District 1 leg of the tour at the Grosley Primary School, making his way through classrooms and facilities before concluding the day at the Leon Hess Comprehensive Secondary School. In total, the minister visited 9 schools, underscoring the ministry's commitment to maintaining close, on-the-ground engagement with schools at the start of the term. Accompanying the minister was a high-level team of senior officials from the Ministry of Education, reinforcing a united leadership approach to the start of the school term. The presence of executive technical, communications, and human resource leadership signaled the ministry's intent to move beyond observation toward coordinated action, informed decision-making, and responsive support at the school level. Beyond infrastructure checks, the tour also focused on staff readiness, student well-being, and the overall teaching and learning experience as schools settle into the new term.
I am elated to have met so many teachers, so many students, so many administrators today at our schools. Of course, the excitement, the expectation, very high. For us at the Ministry of Education, we just endeavor to ensure that our key stakeholders, our teachers, our students are as comfortable as possible. We do always have resource constraints, but as Minister of Education, I really got a good idea of some of the challenges of the schools, albeit in the north today. And I look forward to visiting many, many more schools and providing that service that our young people deserve.
The ministerial tour of schools will continue throughout this week, the first week of the new term, as ministers and senior officials visit schools across the island, reinforcing the ministry's commitment to quality education for all St. Lucian learners.
There's a lot that I'm excited about in terms of education. I think a lot of the requests from teachers are for more supplies. I believe we need to have a comprehensive analysis of supplies in St. Lucia as it pertains to teaching materials. I think at the end of the day, people gravitate towards something that they're excited about, something that they can actually visualize and see and enjoy. And I mean, there is an opportunity when you go to all contractors, they keep telling you there's a dire need for skills, for carpenters, for electricians, for plumbers in this country. And I think one of the main things we have to do as a government is to take it to the blocks and ensure that our young people get those opportunities.
Ministry officials say feedback gathered during the tours will help inform ongoing support and planning for schools during the academic year. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Education, this is Amanda Ficlock reporting.
And continuing with a focus on schools, Minister in the Ministry of Education, Honorable Danny Butcher, has also been in the field visiting schools in the south of the island as the new term gets underway. More in this report from Ryan O'Brien.
With the reopening of schools following the end of the first term of the school year, recently appointed Minister in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for early childhood education, special education, digital transformation and continuing education, the Honorable Danny Butcher took on a tour to a number of schools in the south of the island. Minister Butcher, who was elected as parliamentary representative for Beaufort South during the December 1st, 2025 general election, expressed satisfaction with the atmosphere and conditions at schools he visited.
And the ministry saw it fitting to really go to all of the schools, as many schools as possible, to really assess the readiness of each school, with students coming back from the Christmas celebrations. And my general impressions is I'm very, very impressed. The principals, the teachers, the students, everybody seem ready. We have no major issues. I mean, you get the ordinary problems at each school, which we documented and which we will take care of in the upcoming weeks as quickly as possible. But you get the general impressions from our teachers and principals that they're ready to work. They enjoyed Christmas and they are ready to work.
Minister Butcher, a trained teacher, felt the interaction with the school community was very welcoming on every stop.
At some levels, it would have been a bit emotional, and Beaufort Comprehensive for me is very, very close to my heart. Beaufort Primary as well, because I attended Beaufort Primary. So that would be slightly emotional to see your colleagues and to interact with your colleagues. And the most beautiful thing about it is how welcoming they are to you, and the level of expectation that they have from you really, really motivates you. Beaufort Special Ed as well. The children, the students there, and I said it at the school and I'll say it again, what is really, really motivating is how the teachers at Special Ed and the administration at Special Ed, how they continue to work very, very well, considering they don't have the best conditions, but still they work very, very well.
At the conclusion of the tour, the minister reiterated government's commitment to ensure schools are given the best environment and facilities in which to operate. From the Ministry of Education, Youth Development, Sports and Digital Transformation, I'm Ryan O'Brien.
Still to come, updates from the Caribbean Examinations Council on hybrid exam formats. Stay with us.
We are 758. Creative, resourceful, resilient. We have been through it all. Pandemics, hurricanes, global and local crisis. Yet, we stand tall, a proud people. We support each other, embracing what is ours, what is truly St. Lucia. Support our local entrepreneurs, their products and services. Shop smart, shop local. Love St. Lucia.
Welcome back. Still on education, attention now turns to examinations as the Caribbean Examinations Council rolls out online and hybrid formats for the January CSEC sittings across the region. Once again, here's Ryan O'Brien.
The Caribbean Examinations Council is administering the CSEC January examinations until January 29, 2026, using online and hybrid assessment modalities. Patterson Abraham is Acting Registrar of Examinations.
Exams are now going to be administered fully online. So all paper 1s will be done online, and paper 2 and paper 3-2 will be done through the hybrid method. Hybrid method meaning that the students, or candidates rather, will be given the question paper on the laptop or device, and a question and an answer booklet will be provided so that they can write their answers to the questions. This means that the expectation for these students are different from previous years. The way that they are going to sit those examinations for this January sitting.
Abraham disclosed that there will be an impact on students in subjects with large registrations, such as English A and mathematics.
English A, 135 students are registered for Cassius Private and 45 students in Viewfort. Whereas for mathematics, we have a total of 165 students registered for Cassius Private. This means that the examination will be done in sessions, given that there are only approximately 75 functional laptops at the center. Students will be grouped. This calls for a waiting period. While the students are, the first group is sitting the exam, the second group, or it may call for a third group, will be waiting to be called into the examination center. This means that students or candidates need to work with lunch or their study material, so while they are waiting, they can engage in something constructive.
The acting registrar of examinations informed that candidates will be supervised during that time and expect that the examinations will flow seamlessly with the assistance of chief invigilators and IT personnel on site. From the Ministry of Education, Youth Development, Sports and Digital Transformation, I'm Ryan O'Brien.
And moving from education to agriculture, new Minister Honorable Lucia Jawahir held a series of meetings with heads of departments in the Ministry of Agriculture to gain an understanding of their roles, functions, and ongoing challenges. Zarek Felix reports.
A new chapter is unfolding within the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Climate Change following the introduction of Honorable Lucia Jawahir as Minister with responsibility for the sector. As part of her transition into office, Minister Jawahir recently held a series of meetings with heads of department across the ministry. The discussions focused on gaining a comprehensive understanding of the roles and functions of each department, assessing areas where goals have been successfully achieved, identifying existing challenges, and exploring avenues ministerial leadership can use to assist in addressing those challenges. Central to the discussion was the Government of St. Lucia's vision for strengthening national food security, along with need to introduce greater innovation within the agricultural sector. Minister Jawahir expressed the importance of modern approaches, improved efficiency, and strategic collaboration to ensure the sustainability and resilience of agriculture, fisheries, and climate-related initiatives.
It has certainly been very interesting orienting into the ministry and understanding the various departments, their roles, where they have been able to achieve their goals, the challenges they have, where I come in to help streamline a lot of the departments and to address some of their challenges, but really to share the vision of the government as it relates to strengthening our systems for food security, in addition to introducing innovation or innovative techniques in agriculture. And when I speak of introducing, I know that technology has been a serious part of agriculture over the last few years, but however, getting a bit more serious in it.
The minister expressed satisfaction with the strong foundation already established within the ministry and optimistic about building on it to take the sector to the next level. Looking ahead, she hinted that from January 2026, she intends to engage in wide-ranging consultations with all stakeholders to help shape inclusive, looking-forward policies and long-term sectorial development.
But what I am comforted in learning is that a good foundation has been set. And right now it's for us to take things to the next level. We can all try to understand the Prime Minister's wisdom in placing me in this ministry. I understand it, he understands it. In terms of my approach to things, his mandate, what he would like to see, and how he wants these things actioned. So very early in the new year, we are going to be on the ground. And when I say on the ground, I am meeting with stakeholders from across our departments, January, February, maybe even into March, to meet with our stakeholders, our groups, our farmers, our fishers, allowing them to have a feel of their minister, their new minister, and understanding where it is I would like to see the sector go. But more importantly, learning from them what their challenges are and what their intentions are in terms of supporting the sector.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Climate Change, Bradley St-Urge, formally welcomed the Minister Jawahir and expressed optimism, noting his confidence in the Minister's vision and advancing the mandate of the Ministry for the benefit of St. Lucia.
The Ministry of Agriculture will continue to accelerate its food security efforts as well as modernize the agricultural sector. We are very optimistic that Minister Jawahir will excel in her new role as Minister of Agriculture. And we are also confident that she will be very instrumental in helping us achieve our mandate.
The ministry now looks ahead with continued confidence and collaboration as it works to advance food security, innovation, and sustainable development for the benefits of all St. Lucians. From the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security, and Climate Change, I am Zarek Felix reporting.
Coming up next, government explains the application of tax concessions on hybrid vehicles.
Mommy, I need some hair oils for my TikTok tutorial. It's a popular brand.
But I think we can find something similar that's made locally.
A local brand? Oh, wow!
There are many items produced in St. Lucia.
Wow! Auntie Julie made this product?
We have a full range of agro-processed products. The list is long, plus global award-winning products. Yes, we have your favorite jams, jellies, snacks, and of course, quality health and personal care products. Let's keep it in the family.
Can you believe your cousin designed that label?
Every small purchase makes a huge difference.
Hey guys, this was made in St. Lucia.
Buy local every time you go shopping.
Shop smart, shop local, love St. Lucia.
Welcome back. The government of St. Lucia has issued a clarification on the application of tax concessions for sustainable fuel vehicles, outlining the key differences between hybrid and mild hybrid vehicles. Claudia Monlouis has the details.
The government of St. Lucia has issued a clarification on tax concessions for sustainable fuel vehicles, focusing on the distinction between hybrid and mild hybrid models. Hybrid vehicles, which can operate fully on electric power and use two or more energy sources to propel themselves, qualify for tax concessions. In contrast, mild hybrids, which rely solely on their internal combustion engine and use electric components only to assist fuel efficiency, do not meet the legal requirements for concessions. Public Utilities Officer Mr. Kurt Inglis explained that all mild hybrid vehicles ordered before January 1, 2026 will receive concessions as part of a transitional adjustment period. After this date, the standard tax rates for mild hybrid vehicles will apply.
So from the 1st of January 2026, vehicles that would have been purchased prior to that date that are mild hybrid will still receive the concession. However, vehicles purchased after that date that are mild hybrid will not receive the concession. So if you are a customer or consumer who has purchased a mild hybrid vehicle prior to the 1st of January, you would need to come to the Department of Energy that is on the ground floor of the Stanislas James building, and we will assist you in order to receive the concession. You would need to submit your customs documents and as well as a proof of purchase that indicates the date that the vehicle was purchased or the date that the vehicle was paid for. This proof of purchase cannot be a pro forma invoice, but it must be either a receipt if you would have paid the vehicle on your own, or some kind of bank statement if you would have paid the vehicle through a bank, or some information from a dealership if they would have purchased the vehicle on your behalf. This is a very seamless process. The department will vet the documents and vet the vehicle to ensure that it is ensure that you receive the concession and that this is honored. Any vehicles that are purchased after the 1st of January that are mild hybrid, again, will not receive the concession. And this is to better align government's policies and its incentive package.
The Energy Division highlighted that this clarification is part of St. Lucia's broader climate and energy strategy, which aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, decrease reliance on fossil fuels, and encourage the adoption of sustainable transport solutions. For further guidance, stakeholders are encouraged to contact the Energy Division at 468-6363 or via email at cepuo@govt.lc.
The Ministry of Health warns citizens and visitors to exercise extreme caution following the detection of MDMA in St. Lucia, also known as ecstasy or Molly. Severe health risks are associated with the use of the drug. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belma-George explains.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, through the National Early Warning System for New and Emerging Drug Threats, urges citizens and visitors to exercise extreme caution regarding the use of illicit substances. Illicit substances are substances that are manufactured, sold, processed, or used illegally, or used in a manner not intended for legitimate medical purposes. Recent intelligence has resulted in the St. Lucia Forensic Science Laboratory testing and providing confirmation in country of 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine, referred to as MDMA in brief. It is more commonly called Molly ecstasy or crystals. It is a controlled substance with known risks to human health. It is a recreational drug often used in social, nightlife, and party settings. The appearance varies depending on how it has been produced for use. It may be a crystal, powder, capsule, or tablet form. In tablet form, it is produced in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes, often having logos, symbols, or pictures. MDMA is a synthetically produced drug which has stimulant effects. As such, for someone using it, there will likely be feelings of intense euphoria, that is, excitement and happiness, enhanced sensory perception to touch, smell, and sight senses become more sensitive and intense, emotional, social, and sexual openness. This often results in impulsive behavior and poor self-regulation, as individuals tend to act without normal thinking or control. MDMA has varying health effects based on the individual's size, weight, and health, whether other drugs and alcohol are also taken around the same time, or whether the person is used to taking it, the quantity, the strength, and also the environment where the drug is taken. For example, if it is a hot environment due to overcrowding or being in an indoor space. In the immediate or short-term use of MDMA, an individual may experience a more rapid heartbeat, increased body temperature, sweating, dehydration, blurred vision, seizures, muscle tension, jaw clenching, brain swelling, nausea, and vomiting. It may also become as extreme as loss of consciousness, paranoia, out of character behavior. Globally, deaths have also been reported. The long-term use of MDMA may include dependence, liver damage, depression, memory and concentration deterioration. The risks to human health are higher when MDMA is mixed with alcohol, other stimulants, prescription medication, or used in hot, crowded, or enclosed environments. If you or anyone you know feels unwell, collapses, or has difficulty breathing after taking MDMA, seek immediate emergency medical attention at the nearest hospital or community health facility. The Ministry of Health encourages all stakeholders to share information through the established National Early Warning System network to ensure the protection of human health. For further information, please contact the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat.
And to end our broadcast, this week on OECS Newslink, 5 Caribbean nations join forces to cut energy costs through geothermal energy development. Jacques Hinkson Compton tells us more.
5 Caribbean nations are pushing to develop geothermal energy. Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines will pool their expertise and separate drilling from the power plant development to work around scarce funding. The initiative aims to cut costs in a region with some of the world's highest power tariffs. The 5 nations hold an estimated 6,290 megawatts of geothermal potential. This is enough to power the region numerous times over and to save each country $5 million to $30 million annually, but cutting diesel imports by more than 90%, according to the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. The decision was announced after the UN COP30 climate conference in Brazil. The 5 countries hope to supply clean power in places where high electricity bills strangle household budgets and curtail tourism competitiveness. For the full story, visit our newsroom page at oecs.int.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of St. Lucia Magazine. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who contributed to this production, the National Television Network, the GIS team, and the communications officers across government ministries. Thank you for watching NTN Channel 122 and following the official social media platforms of the Government of St. Lucia. I am Niva Logist. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged as we continue tracking St. Lucia's progress.